look at page 5, just above number 9 in the margin, because he's reasoning here about philosophy. We'll come to his assumptions, I think, next. We'll look at method. Concerning philosophy, I shall say only that seeing that it has been cultivated for many centuries by the most excellent minds that have ever lived, and that nevertheless there is not still something in it about which there is not some dispute, consequently nothing that is not doubtful, I was not also presumptuous as to hope to fare any better there, considering how many opinions there can be about the very same matter that are held by learned people, without there ever being the possibility of more than one opinion being true, I deemed everything that was merely probable to be well nigh false. So what is he saying here? And I'd like to challenge his process of reasoning. His reasoning seems to be that there are many different opinions in philosophy, despite the fact that there are very clever people doing it over the course of a long period of time. And that at most, one opinion will be true. And therefore, I've got 100 opinions, one of them is true, I've got 99 false opinions. So he's saying, I'm going to treat all of them as though they were false. My question for you, is this good reasoning? Correct. I mean, anyways, to do a math problem, wrong. 1,000 wrong answers to a mathematics or calculus problem for every right answer. But I wouldn't be justified in treating every single all the answers indifferently as though they were wrong.
No, I don't think it's good because if you're just considering everything wrong and if that's just wrong and you're not looking for an answer,
Okay.
you're not progressing.
This gets to the question of sort of assumptions that he's making here. It seems like what he's giving us is sort of excuse to stop looking for the answer where other people are looking, that is, in the works of the philosophers. Instead, he's going to turn to reflection and to his experience of observing the book of the world, very much this democratic spirit, right? To go out among the common people and find out the wisdom of the common people away from the ivory tower of the scholars and the luxury and intellectual decadence of academic study.
Is he opposed to science?
No, I think he's actually going to be one of the founders of modern science. But he's going to do this by breaking with intellectual authority, by refounding philosophy on a new ground. That's the sort of radical conclusion we're moving towards.
Does he believe in a right and wrong? Because he says people come to their own assumptions about how.
Right. He's beginning sort of, a lot of this is a rhetoric of solidarity, right? I'm just like you, right? I'm an ordinary man, I'm not especially clever, I've had this good education, but look at how worthless it was. I traveled the world, I met common folks, high-born and low-born, clever and foolish. And I came to some judgments myself, let me just sort of present this to you. So he's becoming a kind of everyman early in this. And this has got tremendous appeal for a popular work, right? Because he's saying not that I, Descartes, am the bearer of truth, but that just like you could have done this if you'd taken the time. Don't you read along and you identify with me now, precisely because I haven't given you any reason to trust me, Descartes, as a particular authority. Now I'm able to speak sort of to you in your own voice. So I think that's part of what he's doing. He is interested in truth, but it's a truth that's going to be start with a heavy dose of intellectual autonomy, right? Not a sort of teaching authority. That way it's very Socratic in a sense. We see Socrates do the same thing, right? He leads people to a conclusion in such a way that they think they've arrived at that conclusion themselves. In fact, he would say that himself. I haven't taught you anything, you've just realized what you already knew. I've just pointed it out to you in a way that you hadn't quite figured out yourself because your thinking was confused. Now, that's not the whole picture because it seems like there is a way of instructing people in just this ironic way. Descartes does have a line, a point of view that he's trying to push. That's where I'd really like to spend the last few minutes of class talking about his assumptions, about the nature of philosophy and the way we acquire it.